Alright, so this video is just going to review what we did in class today. Okay, so for number 11 on the front side, it says the heart rates and lifespans of most mammals are inversely related. Okay, so that right there, tells us that we're going to be looking at our equation y equals k over x. Right, it tells us a cat lives for about 15.2 years and has a heart rate of 126 beats per minute. Okay, so we can find our constant of variation by the notes we took in class where we talked about k equals xy, which in this case equals 15.2 times 126, or 1915.2. Okay, so that's our k value. Now for part B, we can take this k value and plug it into our equation, y equals 1915.2 over x. Right? Then it tells us 634 beats per minute. So we can plug that in for our x. So we can say y equals 1915.2 divided by 634, which would tell us that the hamster would live about 3.02 years. Alright, part C, an elephant lives for about 70 years. About how many times per minute does an elephant's heart beat? So if we said that our heartbeat was our x and our years that it lives is our y, we can say that 70 equals 1915.2 over x, which would in turn we multiply by x, so we get 70x equals 1915.2. Then we have to divide both sides by 70. So we end up with x equals 27.36 beats per minute. Alright, number 12. Two gears are used to operate a machine. Gear A has 60 teeth and gear B has 45 teeth. The speed at which you turn gear A is 5,400 RPMs. The number of teeth and speed are inversely related. So again, that means we're using our y equals k over x. So our constant is x times y, which we're going to use gear A and 60 teeth to find our k. So we'll use our x of 60 teeth and our y of 5,400 RPM to get a k value of 324,000. Right? What speed will gear B turn? So we're going to use our y equals k over x, except now we have y equals 324,000 over x. Right? Our x is our 45 teeth somewhere up here. So we'll have y equals 324,000 divided by 45. So we know that gear B turns at a speed of 7,200 RPM. Number 13. The grade you earn in math varies inversely. Here we are inversely again. Terrible underlining. With the number of minutes per night you watch television. If you watch 90 minutes, you will get a 60 in math. So our k is going to be xy, which we know 90 minutes gives you a 60. So our k is 5,400. How much television can you watch if you want to make a 70? So we'll have 70 equals 5,400 over x, and we end up with x equals 77.14 minutes. Alright, if you cut back on your television and only watch 75 minutes a night, we would have y equals 5,400 divided by 75. And so we would make a 72, which is not good. So no more than 75 minutes a night. We definitely want less than that. Alright, and then what is the maximum amount of television you can watch and still make 100? So we would say 100 equals 5,400 divided by x, and you end up getting 54 minutes. So everybody needs to watch 54 minutes of TV a night so that we can get 100 in math. Number 14. The amount of water that has leaked from a faucet varies directly with time. In 2 hours, 10 gallons of water leaks. Okay, so we have describe what happens to the amount of water as time increases. So more water leaks. So as the time increases, more and more water leaks out. Okay, so our constant, this varies directly. So we're going to be using y equals kx. So k equals y divided by x. So in our case, it would be, let's see, the amount of water leaked from a faucet varies directly with time. So time is our x. So we have 10 gallons divided by 2 minutes to get 5. All right, part C, how much water leaks in 100 hours? Okay, so we would have y equals 5 times 100, our k times x up here. So we would get 500 gallons leaks in 100 hours. All right, how long does it take for 100 gallons to leak? So now we would do 100 equals 5x. So we divide by 5. So we get x equals 20. So 20 hours is how long it takes to leak 100 gallons. All right, now, on the back, we'll start with number 2. All right, it says the time required to process a shipment of oysters varies directly with the time or with the number of pounds in the shipment. So we could write T equals K times P. All right, and time varies inversely with the number of workers assigned W. So we could also say time equals K over W. So now we're going to kind of make one equation. So we're going to take both of these and put it as 1. So we'll have Kp over W. All right. Then we have 3,500 pounds, 7 workers, 7 hours. So we're going to use that to find our K. So we would have time is 7 hours. All right. K times 3,500 pounds divided by 7 workers. All right. So then we can just simplify 3,500 divided by 7. So we would get 7 equals 500K. We would get that K equals 0.014. Now that we know K, we can come back and rewrite our equation as T equals 0.014 P over W. Right? Then it tells us that we want to know how long it takes 5 workers to process 5,000 pounds. So we know our P and our W. So T equals 0.14 times 5,000 divided by 5. Right? And then when you do that, you should get 14. Right? Number 4. And we're skipping 1 and 3, so we're going to number 4. We're going to do something similar. We have the volume of gas, V, varies directly with the temperature of the gas, T. So we can say V equals K times T. And inversely with the amount of weight on the piston, W. So we can say V equals K over W and write one big equation, V equals KT over W. Alright, then we can find K because we're given the volume, the temperature, and the weight. So we can plug in. So we know 8 equals K times 75 over 350. Alright, then when we solve for K, you should get that K equals 37.33. Alright, then we want to find the volume with 9 degrees as a temperature and a weight of 450. So we would go 37.33 times 90 divided by 450. And when you do that, you should get 7.47. So we can say 7 inches cubed. Right? Number 5. The view from the air is directly proportional to the square root of the altitude. Alright, this is one where we're going to use our proportions. So directly, alright, direct variation, we would use x1 over y1 equals x2 over y2. We would use our fractions. Alright, so the view v is proportionate to the square root of the altitude. So there's our v1, our a1 will equal v2 over the square root of a2. Alright, so v1 it tells us is 178 miles. Alright, our altitude is 20,000 feet. So the square root of 20,000 equals, we want to find the view, so we'll call that our v2 over the square root of 34,000 for our altitude. Alright, so then we can cross multiply, so we end up with 178 times the square root, 34,000, equals V2 times the square root of 20,000. Alright, then we can simplify, and you should get 232.034, which is A. Alright, number 6. I apologize for going so quickly, but I got 15 minutes. So number 6, given a triangle with a fixed area, the base varies inversely as the height. So that means B equals K over H. If the initial height of the triangle is 8 and the base is 18, what is the length of the base of the triangle if the height is changed to 16? So first we're going to find K. Alright, so we have 8 equals K over 18. So we get K equals 144. We multiply 8 and 18. Alright, now we can plug it back in with our height changed to 16. So we'll have B equals 144 divided by 16, which is 9. Answer choice A. Alright, number 7. Jacob is a scuba diver and knows that he dives the amount of pressure. As he dives, the amount of pressure increases and the volume decreases. Okay, so we know that as one increases, the other decreases, so we know this is going to be inverse variation. Alright, at a depth of 32 feet, the pressure is 3 atmospheres and the volume is 18 feet. If Jacob swims to a depth where the pressure is 2.25, then what is the volume of the compressed air? Okay, this depth, at a depth of 32 feet, is irrelevant. That's just extra information in our problem. Because we are told that the pressure varies inversely with the volume. So you could say P equals K over V, or V equals K over P. Okay, then we can plug in to find our K. So we know that our P is 3 when V is 18. So we get that K equals 54. Alright, once we know K, we can plug it back in. So P equals 54 over V. And we know that our pressure is 2.25. So you can say 2.25 equals 54 over V. So V equals 54 divided by 2.25, which is 24. Also answer choice A. Alright, and our last one, if it takes 2 tractors to 6 hours to plow a field, how many will it take 3 tractors? Alright, so this is one where we can use our proportions. So we talked about a proportion for direct variation to be x1 over y1 equals x2 over y2. Alright, and then inverse variation would be x1 y1 equals x2 times y2. Okay, now if we think about 2 tractors plowing a field, the more tractors we have, the less time it's going to take. So this is going to be an inverse. So that means we're going to use this proportion of x times y equals x times y. So we'll have 2 times 6 equals 3 times whatever our y value is. So we get 12 equals 3y divided by 3, and y equals 4. So it takes 4 hours with 3 tractors. Ooh, that was terrible. Let's try and fix that. 4 hours. Sloppy handwriting on this. My apologies. Alright. If you have trouble with this still, we'll go over it in class again tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to be review, and Thursday's going to be review, and our test is going to be on Friday.